This is like ranked tier list, not PCC. This is just like what you should be playing in your ranked games. Tier list time. So just going through the tiers. S pick. These are, you should pick or ban these every game. Best heroes in the game. A plus tier. These are heroes. They're above average. They're better than the A tier heroes, but they're not like broken. Like you don't have to pick ban them every game. A tier. These are like solid heroes. You could pick them every game. They're fine. B tier, below average, you're probably picking like these B tier heroes into their good matchups. Otherwise, you probably are going to have a hard time. C tier, just not good heroes, like well below average, probably shouldn't be playing them. One trick tier, heroes that you can play if you are very good at them. If that's like your primary hero, you can pick them, you're fine. And then F tier, bad heroes, probably no one going to F tier, but I'll leave it there just in case. So I'm just going to go through alphabetical. Countess. I think Countess are quite good right now, actually. Mage items got buffed. That's really good. Wraith leggings buff. She really, really enjoys. I mean, it's 5 power, but it's more than you'd think. And the O-Crown got a cost reduction. So I think this character is pretty solid right now. In the jungle, you can build her Bruiser. If you're playing her mid lane, I don't recommend Fire Blossom start. Unless you're maybe against Wraith, you can go Fire Blossom. But a solid hero. Crunch, I think he's fine right now. I think he's been buffed a couple times. I think he's okay, like in the solo lane, in the jungle. He has good combos against like teams that you can run down. Crunch is really good. Wraith mid, Faye mid, right? Stuff like that you can just run down. I think Crunch is solid. Into heavy CC teams, Crunch does definitely struggle, so just keep that in mind. Decker. Man, Decker's just so good. You don't even have to hit all your abilities. You hit one stun in 10, and then you hit that stun, and then it just kills people, and they just die. You can build full damage. You just one-shot the enemy mid laner, and it's like they don't get to play. The character's just dumb. She's just dumb. They need to make her wall, in my opinion. I think what they should do, and again, this could be wrong. I think they need to make her cage block allies' movement, so that if you cage off the enemies, your allies can't just run through the cage, right? You can get your teammates killed. It would make her way harder to play. It wouldn't make her a whole lot worse, but it would make her way harder to play. I think that'd be a cool change. Otherwise, I think she needs a new ability. This character is broken. Drongo. Solid. I don't think any of the carries are super stand out at the moment. I'll put him in A tier right now. He might go up to A+. The carries are all kind of the same right now, like at least for the most part. They all hold left click. They all do damage. The carry items are still really good, right? It's just like Drongo with Vanquisher, really easy to pick up kills on, easy to get a lead on, pretty safe, has good utility, good wave clear. Feng Mao, I think Feng Mao's good right now. I think in the off lane, at least he's good. In the jungle, a little hard to play. Just you get stat checked by every other jungler in the game. So just be careful. In the off lane, they did buff his E. Pretty good early pressure on this character. Pretty good kill pressure in the off lane as well. So in the off lane, definitely solid. Gadget stocks are definitely down a little bit. I still think she's fine. I still think you can pick her every game. But she is a little bit worse. When the burst mages are good, characters like Bellica get a little bit worse. Or characters like Gadget, I mean, get a little bit worse because they just don't fight as well early game. They don't set up for their team as much. They want to play kind of slower and stuff like that. They're better against tanks. I still think Gadget's a good character, just drops a little bit in priority. Gideon definitely goes up. This character did get buffed. He got a bug fix on his ult and then a buff on his Q. Definitely solid. Like, burst mages right now are kind of eating. They got a bunch of their items buffed, stuff like that. So I do think he's very solid. You can pick him pretty much every game. Greystone. I think this character is back to being not very good. I think you can play him in the jungle, and I think you have really good clear on your jungle camps. If you play this character in the off lane, I don't know why you would. I'm just going to keep it 100. I don't know why you would play this character in the off lane. He doesn't really do anything. I guess he has good wave clear. He is pretty good at keeping the backline out of a fight. Right now, his rundown is actually not super good. It's hard to kill carries at the moment as a Greystone. But he keeps them out of the fight for a little bit. That's cool. I just think that he's not very good. Crux, same thing, honestly. Except don't play him in the jungle, right? Greystone, I would only play him in the jungle right now. Grux, I wouldn't play him in the jungle, only play him in the offlane. In the offlane, it's like, yeah, he bullies lane a little bit, but it's just like team fights are so unplayable on this character that you just kind of are forced to split push. But also, it's like people don't know how to play around split pushes in ranked. So like your team just takes the 4v5 and loses, and then you don't get to split push because they just send 2 people back while 3 do the objective, and it's just like, whatever, right? Your character doesn't do anything. Howie, very good. This character is very good. One of the better mid laners right now, in my opinion. I think he's really good. He has good range. Soulbinder got buffed. Howie really likes the Soulbinder buff. I think the build that I've been going on Howie right now is Soulbinder triple flat pen, and that build feels really good. You know, Soulbinder, Combustion, Wraith Leggings, Overseer. You just one-shot their backline. It feels really good to play. Struggles a little bit against tanks, but he is quite safe. So if you're able to space properly, you don't do a crazy amount of damage to tanks, but they have a hard time killing you. So, Kalari, this is probably the one don't play this hero that's in the game at the moment. I think this character sucks. I wouldn't play her. 1 in 10 games, you'll pop off and have a really cool game, and it'll make you think that Kalari's good. She isn't. This character is not good. Don't play this character. Chimera. I feel like Kai is fine. I don't like he has the same issues as he's always had. Falls off really, really hard after the 20-minute mark. But honestly, I think in ranked at least, he's still a very playable hero. Kira, she's fine. Dash bug is back in the game, so if you buffer your dash while you're stunned, you will dash forward every time. You will not dash in the direction that you are pressing on your keyboard. So keep that in mind. I don't think that really impacts her ranking. I think she's solid. I think she's similar to Drongo. There's at least one carry that I'll put higher. But yeah, like these, like I think they're pretty similar. They do it like Kira's good at boxing in lane. She doesn't have any clear, but she's good at boxing in lane, good at running people down the lane if you leave her in the 1v1. Has a good ult that clears minion waves, right? Not good for anything else, but it does clear minion waves. Bellica, broken. This character's OP. They giga buffed Bellica this patch, and she is OP. They buffed her stun, they buffed her bomb, they buffed her bomb, they buffed her bomb. They buffed it 3 times. She's just nuts. You just go Alkrod into Pen every game, and you just one-shot their backline. They don't get to play the game. Character is really, really, really annoying to play against now. Morigesh. I'm going to put her in B tier. I think she's more playable. I'm a little higher on Morigesh than a lot of people are, but if you play Morigesh into like Gideon Bellica, you're going to have a really bad time. So it's pretty, like, it's, yeah, the way the meta seems to be shifting, I wouldn't play her too much right now. Doc, one of the better carries right now, in my opinion. A cross-map snipe is super annoying. He does a lot of damage. You're seeing a lot of carries right now, especially on Murdoch, going Lightning Hawk into Quiver, which looks really wonky, but it does actually make you do a shit ton of damage, and it lets you lifesteal up for a lot. So it makes him really hard to kill. It makes his objective damage quite good as well, so keep that in mind. This character is probably one of the better carries right now. Muriel. I think Muriel's fine. An average character. You can play her. You cannot play her. I don't really care. She's worse in the off lane than she was before. But in the duo lane, if you're going to play through your off laner, if your off laner is playing like Grux or something like that, picking Muriel can help them out quite a bit. So I think that is like something you can do. It's hard to do in ranked, but if your team is on board, then you can definitely get away with it. Garbash, like a middle of the pack support right now. Hard to play in laning phase. They just nerfed his healing again. Don't really do anything in lane. There's like, if you're playing against a Muriel, you can win some 2v2s when you get level 6, but like, it's really awkward. to do shit like that. Like, it can be really awkward to play a comp where you can't fight before level 6 in the duo lane. So keep that in mind. After 20 minutes, character's still very, very good. FaZe, don't play this hero. Just for the mental sake of everybody else in the lobby, just don't play FaZe. Other than that, this character's not super awesome. I hope they keep her in the fucking rubbish bin until they change her kit, because this character should not be in the game. Rampage. I think Rampage is a fine jungler right now. Good clear. Decent team fight. Right now, burst mages are, again, like these kind of bursty mages are getting up in prio. Rampage shits on these guys. So just keep that in mind. Like, if burst mages do become really good, you'll see some of these tankier junglers start to be better because they do better against the burst mages. Revenant. I don't know, man. Revenant could almost be A+. People are figuring out that this character is really oppressive to play against in lane. They've buffed his Q quite a bit, and then now they're starting to tune it back. But people are figuring out how oppressive this character is in lane, and you see it played a lot in like my lobbies and Paragon level lobbies. You see it picked a lot, and it just bullies lane. If it gets a kill early, you just snowball through the game. Really like annoying to play against. Has safety with his ultimate. Just a strong, like a pretty strong carry right now. Richter. I think I'm going to put Richter in S tier still. I think this character just wins you games. You can be 0-10, and if you hit a hook, you just win the game. And it's super annoying to play against. It's still really good in the offlane. They nerfed his passive a little bit, which makes him worse primarily in the offlane. But still, just a really good character. He bullies in the offlane. He has really good jungle clear. You can play him support if you're feeling confident in your hooks, but I would stick mostly to offlane jungle on this character. Just nuts right now. Sereth. I think Sereth is fine. I'd play her mostly in the jungle. You can go like the Sky Splitter Bonesaw build that I think is pretty good right now, actually. I think you go Sky Splitter Bonesaw Draconum, and that feels pretty good on Sereth. You just run down their back line. Your goal is to kill the carry in every fight. You can play her in the off lane, but she's not very good. I think you just kind of get stat checked by the majority of offlaners right now if you play her in the offlane, so keep that in mind. Sevarog, still a really good offlaner. I'm going to put him in A+. Still a very good offlaner. Solid jungler if your lanes have priority. Other than that, scales late game. You run down backliners late game. Burst mages can't kill this character, so keep that in mind if you're playing against, like, Id Howie Bellica, right? Like, as long as you don't eat an entire Gideon ult, you're not dying in a fight to the mages, so all you have to worry about is carries. Pretty nice. Jinbi. Not terrible right now. I'm going to put her in average. I think she's solid against these tanks in the offlane. She scales well, and on, like, 2 items, she actually beats, like, Rixev Steel. So I think she's solid in the offlane. I wouldn't really play her in the jungle. Not having crowd control on your jungler right now I think is a little rough. But in the offlane, decent character. Steel. I'm going to put him in A. I think he's the worst out of these 3, like, big tanks. Still solid in the offlane. I wouldn't play him in the jungle. Pretty good support, actually. They just nerfed his wall a little bit, but I don't think it matters that much. In the offlane, he's still just, like, he bullies the matchups that he bullied before. And as a support, I think he's pretty solid right now if you have a team that can play with Steel support. Steel support could be a little annoying to play against if people don't know. Like, if people don't know how to play with Steel, they play like it's like a Narbash, and then it gets complicated. Anyway, if you can play Steel support, it's solid. Otherwise, play him in the offlane. Faye, one of the better mages right now, I think. Tempted to put her, I think I will put her in A+, especially in ranked. This character can just, she always has kill pressure on the enemy mid laner, which is really annoying to play against as a mid laner. Like, the fact that you have to respect her. If she hits 2 E's on you, the fact that you have to back up and respect it is a little crazy. She always has kill pressure. Her level 6 is really strong. One of the better mages right now. I think mages are really strong right now, so you'll see a lot of mages upper on the tier list, but yeah. Twin Blast, I think his character is still broken. I don't think he's quite S tier, but character's very, very good. He just does everything, man. He kills tanks, he pushes waves, he can hold freezes. Like, he just does everything that a carry would ever need to do. He kills squishy targets, he kills tanks. It's just, yeah, that's character. Xerath Prio's dropped a little bit. I still think this character is underplayed. I think if you are a jungler and you want free kills, or free wins, you just pick Xerath and you walk around the map and you ult people. I think it truly is like that easy. If you're a bad jungler, or if you're new to jungle, or if you're a jungler who's just like had a couple bad games, just pick Xerath, man. Like, he just makes the game so trivial. And I think he is still pretty good. Underplayed. Sparrow. The same issues that Sparrow's always had. I'll put her in B tier. She's always had the same issues, man. She does do a shit ton of damage. She does have decent wave pressure, actually. She has a decent 2v2. Keeping this character alive through a team fight is so impossible that it's just like, I don't know, man. Maybe with the Razorback nerf, Sparrow's better, right? She can maybe kill tanks now without dying, but I don't know. I'm not sold. Maybe she's better than I think she is, but I'm going to put her in B for right now. Wraith, first character in the one-trick tier. I think he's solid. They did nerf him this patch. I still think he's fine, but you just have to be good at the character. Just have to be good. Iggy. I'm going to put him in gadget tier, in A tier. I still think Iggy's good. I still think you can pick Iggy every game, but he is a little bit worse with the burst mages being good, so just keep that in mind. Belica S tier for support or mid or both. I think for both, honestly. Primarily as a mid laner, but I think she's very good in support as well. Quang. Decent jungler, decent offlaner, good clear, good wave pressure in the offlane, good gank potential in the jungle. Solid character. I don't think he's like excelling a crazy amount right now, but he does check a lot of the tanks very well in the offlane. So good against Steel, good against Sev, good against Rick. So just keep that in mind. Argus. Tempted to put Argus in S tier, man. I think the character is still very, 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 very good. I'm tempted to put him in S tier. I think I'll put him with Faye and those guys. Loves the Wraith leggings buff. That kind of thing just makes this character very, very strong. Really annoying to play against. Has permanent lane pressure against every character that's not named Iggy and Scorch. Just has a good gank, has a good objective fight, does a lot of objective damage. He just kind of does everything. Really strong character. Surprised he wasn't nerfed. Grim. I think Grim's on the lower end of carries right now. I do think he has a couple good laning matchups, but I think for the most part, you're not seeing Grim picked a whole lot. I think you would just rather have these characters that make like better use of like Onyxian Quiver, right? And stuff, or Cringe Blast, stuff like that. Still, I think the character's fine, but I'm just going to put him a little lower just because he's not getting prio'd at all right now. Like, nobody's playing him, so is what it is. Aurora, still a good jungler. Off lane, she's fallen a little bit off, but Aurora is still solid. Really good jungle clear, pretty good ganks, really good fight if you're good at using her wall. So just keep that in mind. Really annoying character if your support doesn't build cleanse as well. Her ult is OP if you don't have cleanse. Terra, one of the better offlaners in my opinion. As a jungler, I think she's fine, but one of the better offlaners for sure. Just bullies all the tanks, does pretty well into anything off meta as an offlaner. Very good against, like, if you see people picking shit like Muriel offlane or Yin offlane, you know, stuff, Zinx offlane, stuff like that. Terra bullies really, really well. She gap closes onto those characters. She kills them. Very good at doing stuff like that. Zinx. Still one of the better supports in my opinion. I think this character is still very good. Her res is incredibly annoying to play against. Good wave pressure. She runs down duo lane. She has good kill potential in duo. She has good setup. She can clear waves. She does damage. She has a really good stun. Character just kind of has a lot of tools to work with, and they haven't nerfed the tools quite enough to make her bad. Yin. Oh, I'm lagging. I think Yin is... I think she's fine. I don't think she's broken. I don't think she's bad. I've seen a lot of people saying they think Yin is dog shit. I don't think she's dog shit. I think she's fine. I don't know. I don't think she's like OP. I don't think she's unplayable. She's decent as a jungler. She has really good clear. But her team fight is a little awkward. Like the way you have to space a team fight, people haven't really figured it out yet. You kind of want to play in the front, but you also don't want to play in the front because you're squishy. I think arguably she's good in mid lane. I think mid lane might be her best role at the moment, to be honest with you. I think she really shits on a lot of mages. So I think that might be true. Not 100%. I don't think she's a good offlaner. I think she just gets stomped by good offlaners right now. So I wouldn't play her there. Don't play her as a carry. Jungle, she's fine. Mid lane, I think she's fine. And then Skylar. I'm a little higher on Skylar than a lot of people. I would almost put her A+. I think I'm going to put her in the bottom of A tier. I would almost put her A+. I think this character is still quite good. She has pretty good clear. She has pretty good 2v2. She's really hard to kill in a team fight. If the Skylar's playing well, she's really annoying to track down in a team fight. So I think she's still solid. But I know a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people putting Skylar much lower. Like, they think that she's not good. But I definitely think Skylar is still very solid. Gotta put them in ranked order in each tier? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not ordering my tiers, bro. It's too much. Plus, you're ordering, like, roles against different roles, which isn't quite fair. So, I feel like that's fine. I don't think I really need to change anything. Mages are really strong right now. Again, a lot of burst mages in the mid lane are really, really good. Carries, again, there's only like 2 carries in this A+ tier. I think all the carries are very similar outside of like Sparrow Grim maybe. These 2 are probably a little lower. But I think the other rest of the carries could like arguably be A+. Like Rev Drongo at least could definitely arguably be A+. They're both very strong. Keep in mind, the other thing, too, is, like, Rev has a really good matchup against TB and Murdoch. So, like, it might be a little inflated because these 2 characters are getting played every game. And if you just pick Rev into them, they don't get to play. And it's really annoying. So, there's that, too. But no, Rev's very good. Bell, Richter, also just all of those 2 are very good. I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of S tier characters right now. I think Gideon, Decker maybe could be moved to S tier. Maybe Terra. But they're very, very good. Rev ult value on objectives is unmatched. I mean, once people get good at playing Revenant, yes, he's very, very good.